Today is primary day in 4 states across the U.S., but most eyes are on Pennsylvania in the wake of those newly drawn congressional maps there, likely to benefit Democrats and their efforts to flip the balance of power in the House. Shawn's live with us on the ground in Hazleton tonight with the latest results. Good evening, Eric.
Good evening, Shannon. You know, it's an historic night here in Pennsylvania. At least 8 women have won their nominations for Congress across the state on both the Democratic and Republican line. And there is, though, some disappointing news for Rick Saccone. Remember him? He was the Republican state representative who was narrowly defeated by Connor Lamb in that special election 2 months ago near Pittsburgh. Well, Mr. Saccone lost his primary Republican battle tonight to another candidate in another district. But as for the U.S. Senate race in Pennsylvania, man, it is going to be a doozy, because tonight, 4-term incumbent Congressman Lou Barletta defeated the state representative Jim Cristiano, which will set up a major battle for Democratic Senator Bob Casey's seat. Barletta is a self-made businessman. As mayor of Hazleton, he made national headlines back in 2006 for his tough stance on illegal immigration. He was endorsed by President Trump, who actually urged him to run for the seat. And tonight, Barletta likened his candidacy to that of the president's. He said he's reaching out to Reagan Democrats. He calls himself a blue-collar, working-class guy who will fight for Pennsylvanians, noting that Casey frequently votes with Senator Elizabeth Warren, which he said makes her a great senator for California or Massachusetts, but not Pennsylvania. He says he does not have the values of the Keystone State.
The media said that Donald Trump could not win in Pennsylvania, and Pennsylvania sent Donald Trump to the White House. I was also told that I would never be mayor, and I was mayor for 3 terms. They also told me I'd never beat a 26-year incumbent, and we beat a 26-year incumbent. And now they're saying that I'm not going to beat Bob Casey, and we're going to beat Bob Casey.
Well, Casey is a 3-term incumbent. He's been in office for 12 years. He is the son of storied former Governor Robert P. Casey, and he happens to be one of the harshest critics of the president, has urged him to resign over those allegations of sexual misconduct. His campaign tonight issued a statement that said, in part, this election will be a choice between a candidate who fights for the corporate interests that stack the deck against them. It will be a choice between a candidate who has made it his mission to protect Social Security, Medicare, and Medicaid, and a candidate who has spent years working to undermine, privatize, or slash those programs. It will be a choice between a candidate who stands up to President Trump when he's wrong and a candidate who believes President Trump can do no wrong. Terry Madonna from Franklin and Marshall College says, at least for now, Casey, it seems, has the edge.
He's kept the connection to the working class, unlike a lot of other sort of urban Democrats. I also like to point out Casey's from Scranton. If you're from Scranton, you're not an urban Democrat. That's pretty much of a working class town. Bottom line, I think the senator is going to be difficult to beat.
Well, sorry. Well, part of that working class theme that he just talked about is the sign. Look at the signage. It just says one word, Lou, not the last name, just Lou. He says before this election is over, every Pennsylvanian will know and like Lou. Shannon, back to you.
I guess it's like Madonna or Eric. Shawn. All right. Thank you for your report there in the midst of this tough primary season there in Pennsylvania.